Enjoy your trip to Japan Kanto region. The Kanto region, located almost in the center of Honshu, consists of Tokyo, Ibaraki Prefecture, Tochigi Prefecture, Gunma Prefecture, Saitama Prefecture, Chiba Prefecture, and Kanagawa Prefecture, most of which are located in the Kanto Plain. Approximately one-third of Japan's total population lives in the Kanto region, where the capital, Tokyo, is located. The population is particularly concentrated in Tokyo and its surrounding cities, which form the Tokyo metropolitan area, including the 23 wards of Tokyo and 6 other designated cities: Yokohama, Kawasaki, Saitama, Chiba, and Sagamihara. The Kanto region is home to many hidden gems that are also attractive to foreign tourists. Below are some lesser known but well worth a visit. Okutama. Okutama is located on the western edge of Tokyo and has long been loved by city dwellers as a place to enjoy the great outdoors. During the Heian period, it was known as a training ground for Shugendo sect practitioners and was a center of mountain worship. Today, it is easily accessible from the city center and is popular as a tourist destination rich in nature that is easy to visit. Okutama also plays an important role as a water source, and in the 1930s Lake Okutama Oguchi Dam was constructed to secure a water source for Tokyo. This dam still plays an important role in supplying water to Tokyo. Attractions. Lake Okutama is an artificial lake formed by the Oguchi Dam and is surrounded by nature. The fresh greenery of spring and the colorful foliage of autumn are particularly beautiful, and you can enjoy hiking and cycling here. Boat trips on the lake are also popular activities. Hikawa Valley, located within walking distance from Okutama Station, this valley has a beautiful, clear stream. There are walking trails, so even beginners can enjoy a leisurely nature walk. Along the valley, there are walking trails where you can enjoy the views of the rocks and the river, providing a relaxing escape from the hustle and bustle of the city. Mount Mitake. Mount Mitake, adjacent to the Okutama area, is a sacred mountain with an elevation of 929 meters. Musashi Mitake Shrine at the summit has been historically known as the center of mountain worship. It is easily accessible by cable car, and there are also mountain climbing and hiking trails. From the observation deck you can enjoy views of the Kanto Plain and Mt. Habara Cave. Located deep in the mountains of Okutama, this huge cavern stretches 1,270 meters and is a mysterious cave that you can explore. The temperature remains cool at around 11 C throughout the year, making it a particularly popular spot in the summer. Okutama Onsen Moegi no Yu, a day trip hot spring facility near Okutama Station, where you can relax and soothe your fatigue after mountain climbing or hiking. The hot spring also has an open-air bath where you can enjoy the beautiful mountain views, perfect for refreshing yourself. Access by train. Take the Junior Chuo line from Shinjuku Station to Ome Station, approximately 1 hour. Transfer to the Junior Ome line at Ome Station and take the train to Okutama Station, approximately 40 minutes. The total travel time from Shinjuku to Okutama is approximately 2 hours. Access by car. From the Chuo Expressway, Hachioji IC, or Hinode IC, take National Route 411 to the Okutama area. The journey takes about an hour and a half if there is no traffic. Things to note when visiting: weather and clothing. Okutama is at a high altitude, so the temperatures are low, especially in autumn and winter. Even in spring, the mornings and evenings can be chilly, so don't forget to take precautions against the cold. The weather in mountainous areas is changeable, so it is wise to bring rain gear such as a rain jacket. Food and hydration. There are few cafes and restaurants in the mountainous areas, so it is a good idea to pack some drinks and snacks in advance. Nature conservation. Okutama is attractive for its beautiful natural environment. Please be sure to take your trash home with you and try not to pollute the environment. Congestion. The area around Lake Okutama and the hiking trails can get very crowded, especially during the autumn foliage season, October to November and Golden Week. If you visit earlier on a weekday, you can enjoy the place at your leisure. Transportation. There are buses from Okutama Station to major tourist spots, but as there are few buses, it is important to check the timetable in advance. In addition, we recommend using the train on weekends and during consecutive holidays, as roads are congested. Summary. Okutama is a wonderful tourist destination where you can enjoy abundant nature and tranquility while still being in Tokyo. And you can enjoy the scenery of each season. Kamakura is quiet. Temples and the Great Buddha. Kanagawa Prefecture. History. Kamakura became the political center of Japan when Minamoto no Yoritomo established the Kamakura Shogunate at the end of the 12th century, and continued to develop throughout the Kamakura period 1185 to 1333. It flourished as a center of samurai culture, and many temples and Buddhist facilities were built. As a result, there are many historically important temples and shrines scattered around the area. In particular, the Tranquil Temple Complex and the Great Buddha Kotoku-in are symbols of Kamakura tourism. The Great Buddha of Kamakura Kotoku and Temple The Great Buddha of Kamakura, officially. The Amida Nyorai statue is a huge bronze statue enshrined at Kotoku-in Temple. Built in 1252, it was originally housed in a Daibutsu hall. But the building was destroyed by a tsunami and a typhoon, and the Buddha has remained outdoors ever since. This great Buddha, which is approximately 11.3 meters tall and weighs approximately 121 tons, has been loved by many people as a symbol of Kamakura for many years. Quiet Temple highlights. Ingakuji Temple is one of the 5 great temples of Kamakura, and was built in 1282 by Hojo Tokumune to commemorate the victims of the Mongol invasions. The vast grounds contain around 60 buildings, creating a quiet and solemn atmosphere. The autumn foliage is especially beautiful, and the fact that there are few visitors means you can stroll around at your leisure. Tokeiji Temple, also known as the Temple of Divorce, and opened at the end of the Kamakura period. Women would seek refuge at this temple in search of divorce, and it played a role as a refuge approved by the shogunate. The temple's garden is tranquil and beautiful, especially when it's filled with cherry blossoms in spring and autumn leaves. Hokokuji Temple Bamboo Temple Hokokuji Temple, famous for its beautiful bamboo forest, has a particularly tranquil atmosphere among the Zen temples in Kamakura. You can experience a stroll through the bamboo forest and a quiet tea ceremony in a tea house. Hasadera Temple. Hasadera Temple, famous for the Haze Cannon, is known as a famous spot for hydrangeas. From the temple you can see the beautiful coastline of Uegahama, and the gardens filled with seasonal flowers are also a highlight. The 11-faced cannon statue in the cannon hall inside the temple is 9.18 meters tall and is one of the largest wooden cannon statues in Japan. Highlights of the Great Buddha of Kamakura. Visiting the inside of the Great Buddha. Visiting the inside of the Great Buddha is a popular activity for tourists. Although the interior is small, it is a fascinating historical experience to see the structure and casting techniques of the Buddha statues up close. Sitting outdoors. The Great Buddha of Kamakura stands majestically under the blue sky and is attractive for its harmony with the surrounding nature. It is especially beautiful when viewed under the autumn leaves or clear winter skies. Access by train. From Tokyo to Kamakura, take the Junior Yokosuka line from Tokyo Station to Kamakura Station, which takes about an hour direct to the Great Buddha. From Kamakura Station, take the Enoshima Electric Railway for about 5 minutes and get off at Haze Station. From there, it's about a 10-minute walk to Kotoku-in Temple. Temple hopping. Ingakuji Temple. Take the Junior Yokosuka line from Kamakura Station, get off at Kita Kamakura Station, then a short walk from there. Hokokuji Temple. About 15 minutes on foot from Kamakura Station. Hasadera Temple. Take the Enoden train from Kamakura Station to Haze Station, then walk for about 5 minutes. Things to be aware of when visiting. The Great Buddha of Kamakura and Hasadera Temple are particularly crowded during the cherry blossom season in spring, and the autumn leaves in fall, as well as on weekends. Weekdays and early morning visits are recommended. Climate. It gets very hot in the summer and cold in the winter, so it's important to dress appropriately for the season. Summary. Kamakura is a relaxing tourist spot surrounded by historic temples and natural beauty. In particular, the Quiet Temple Tour and the Great Buddha of Kamakura are wonderful experiences that allow you to get a deeper sense of Japanese history and culture. Mashiko Tochigi Prefecture History. Mashiko Town, Tochigi Prefecture, is a producer of traditional Japanese pottery known as Mashiko ware. The history of Mashiko ware is relatively short, beginning in the 1850s during the late Edo period. Mashiko developed as a town of pottery when Kizaburo Otsuka, the founder of Mashiko ware, started making pottery in the area. Mashiko ware was originally made as everyday ware and was widely used among the common people. But in the 20th century it came under the influence of the Mingei movement and its value increased. When the potter Shoji Hamada moved to Mashiko and made his name known around the world, Mashiko ware came to be appreciated as a work of art. Attractions. Tour the Mashiko Potteries. Mashiko town is dotted with many kilns and pottery galleries. Visitors can observe the process of pottery making in a traditional kiln and participate in a hands-on pottery workshop. In particular, the Mashiko Pottery Market, held in spring and autumn, is a major event that attracts pottery fans from all over the country. Hamada Shoji Memorial Mashiko Reference Museum. This museum displays the works and collections that Shoji Hamada left behind in Mashiko, allowing visitors to learn more about the charm and history of Mashiko ware. Hamada's home and studio have also been preserved, allowing visitors to learn about his life and creative activities. Mashiko Ceramic Art Museum. This is a museum that displays Mashiko ware and traditional pottery from all over Japan. Works by Shoji Hamada and other contemporary Mashiko pottery artists are on display, allowing visitors to enjoy a world of pottery that blends tradition and modernity. Mashiko Castle Ruins Park. Another historical tourist spot that you can't miss is the former Mashiko Castle Park. It is especially popular as a cherry blossom viewing spot in spring, when the cherry blossoms bloom in full bloom. The view from the castle ruins is great, and you can enjoy nature and history at the same time. Mashiko Roadside Station. A roadside station lined with fresh local produce and Mashiko ware. You can enjoy meals served on Mashiko ware tableware and also purchase local produce and specialties. Rural scenery. Mashiko town is surrounded by rich nature and offers beautiful rural scenery in every season. You can spend a relaxing time looking at the tranquil scenery as you tour the Mashiko pottery workshops and galleries. Access by train. The most common way to get to Mashiko is by train from Tokyo. Take the Junior Utsunomiya line and get off at Oyama Station. After that, transfer to the Moka Railway and get off at Mashiko Station. Travel time about 2.5 to 3 hours. Access by bus. From Tokyo, take the direct bus, Mashiko Kasama Go, operated by JR Bus Kanto from the Yaesu South exit of Tokyo Station to Mashiko Station in about 2.5 hours. Access by car. Take the Joban Expressway or Tohoku Expressway, and head towards Mashiko town on a public road from Tochigi IC or Sakuragawa Chikyusei IC. Things to note when visiting 1. Crowding at the Pottery Market. The Mashiko Pottery Market. Spring Golden Week, autumn early November is very crowded. Parking lots can be busy, so we recommend using public transport or arriving early. Mashiko is a tourist destination that can be enjoyed throughout the year, but apart from the pottery market, the number of tourists increases during the beautiful cherry blossom season in spring and the autumn leaves in fall. So you should be aware of the crowds depending on the time of your visit. Summary. Mashiko is a beautiful town surrounded by nature and the culture of traditional Mashiko pottery. It is a tourist destination where you can experience art and history in a quiet atmosphere. This is a recommended place not only for pottery lovers, but also for those who want to enjoy a relaxing time. Suigo Sawara, Chiba, Prefecture History. Sawara is an area in Katori City, Chiba Prefecture, where old townscapes remain, and has developed as a key commercial and transportation hub since the Edo period. In particular, the town flourished thanks to the development of water transportation on the Tone River, and came to be known as Suigo Sawara. During the Edo period, merchants and shipping businesses gathered here, and goods such as rice, miso, and sake were transported to Edo via the Tone River. Sawara is known as Little Edo, and still retains the scenery of Edo townscape, and has been designated as an important preservation district for groups of traditional buildings. In particular, many merchant houses and townhouses from the Edo to Meiji periods remain, and the charming streetscape is popular with tourists. Sawara is also famous as the birthplace of Ino Tadataka (1745–1818). He was a surveyor in the Edo period who walked around Japan, making maps, and laid the foundation for future maps of Japan. Today, there is a memorial museum in Sawara to commemorate him. Attractions. Sawara Townscape. The Edo period townscape along the Sawara River offers a view that makes you feel as if you have traveled back in time. The town is lined with merchant houses and warehouses that have been around since the Edo period. And you can take a leisurely stroll while enjoying the beauty of the buildings. You can also take a leisurely ride on a sightseeing boat called a kawabun, and enjoy the townscape from the river. Ino Tadataka Former House and Ino Tadataka Memorial Museum. The former home of Ino Tadataka, who walked and surveyed the entire country of Japan, remains here. And there is also a memorial hall commemorating his achievements. Here you can follow in his footsteps and see how he created the map of Japan. Surveying equipment and maps he left behind are on display, making this a spot that can be enjoyed from both a historical and scientific perspective. Katori Shrine, located a short distance from Sawara. Katori Shrine is an ancient shrine that represents Chiba Prefecture and is counted as one of the 3 great shrines of the eastern region, along with Kashima Shrine and Ikisu Shrine. This is a historic shrine revered as the god of martial arts and has about 400 branch shrines across the country. The vast grounds are filled with historic shrine buildings and nature, making it a popular power spot. Suigo Sawara Ayame Park. Another attraction in Sawara is Suigo Sawara Ayame Park, where about 1.5 million irises bloom in June. This park, which has existed since the Edo period, hosts the Iris Festival every year, attracting many tourists. During the iris blooming season, you can enjoy the beautiful flowers while taking a boat trip along the waterways. Sawara Grand Festival. In Sawara, a large festival called the Sawara Grand Festival is held in July and October. It is also registered as a UNESCO Intangible Cultural Heritage, and the sight of the gorgeous floats parading through the town is spectacular. This festival has a history of over 300 years, and the whole town is filled with festival spirit. It is also a special experience for tourists to experience the atmosphere of the Edo period. Access by train. Take the Junior Sobu Line or JR Narita Line to Sawara Station. Approximately 2 hours by car. Take the Higashi Kanto Expressway, drive for about an hour and a half, get off at the Sawara Katori IC, and head towards the town of Sawara via local roads. Access by bus. There are also express buses bound for Sawara from Tokyo Station and Chiba Station. Things to note when visiting 1. Seasonal crowds. It gets especially crowded during the Sawara Grand Festival and the Iris Festival. Due to the large number of tourists and crowded parking lots, we recommend using public transport or arriving early. When sightseeing in the summer, the sun will be strong, so you will need to take measures against the heat, such as wearing a hat and using sunscreen. In addition, the wind can be cold in winter, so it is best to wear warm clothes. Festival crowds. During the Sawara Festival, the whole town gets crowded, so we recommend that you make your accommodation reservations early. Summary. Suigo Sawara is a charming tourist destination where you can enjoy both nature and history, with townscapes that have retained the atmosphere of the Edo period, festivals, and beautiful flowers. It is also popular with foreign tourists as a place where you can enjoy river boats and seasonal flowers while touring historical buildings. Mount Takao. Tokyo history. Mount Takao is a mountain located in Hachioji, Tokyo, with an altitude of 599 meters. It has been known as an object of worship since ancient times, and the mountain itself is linked to Shugendo and Tengu worship. It is said to have been founded in the Nara period 8th century and has a history of over 1,300 years. Yakoin is a temple located on the middle slope of Mount Takao and is also known as a sacred place for Shugendo. This temple was founded by the imperial decree of Emperor Shomu during the Nara period, and Tengu has been worshipped as the guardian deity of Mount Takao. In particular, it enshrines Izuna Daigunnen and is visited by many worshippers. Mount Takao has been selected as one of the 100 most famous mountains in Japan, and is easily accessible from the city center. So it is visited by many climbers and tourists throughout the year. Attractions. Yakoin Temple. Located halfway up Mount Takao, Yakoin Temple is a sacred place for Shugendo pilgrims and is home to a Tengu statue and a mystical atmosphere. There are various Buddha statues and Tengu statues in the precincts, creating a solemn atmosphere. In addition, the approach to Yakuo-in Temple is lined with cedar trees that are hundreds of years old, giving you the feeling that you are walking through a sacred space. Mount Takao Cable Car and Chairlift. Mount Takao can be easily reached midway by cable car or chairlift. In particular, the cable car boasts the steepest slope in Japan, allowing you to easily approach the summit while enjoying the natural scenery. The lift is also open, so you can climb at your own pace while feeling the breeze. Mount Takao Summit. From the summit, you can see Mount Fuji on a clear day, and you can enjoy the natural scenery despite being close to the city center. The scenery changes with each season, with cherry blossoms in the spring, beautiful autumn leaves in the fall, and sometimes snowy scenery in the winter. Beer Mount. Beer Mount is a popular event held near the summit only during the summer, where you can enjoy the spectacular view of Mount Takao while drinking beer. Enjoy the unique experience of tasting beer after climbing a mountain. Hiking trails. Mount Takao has several hiking trails that can be used to climb the mountain without using cable cars or lifts. Trail 1 is the most suitable for beginners and leads to the summit via Yakuo-in Temple. There are also many other trails where you can walk through nature, such as the suspension bridge on Trail 4 and the Streamside Trail on Trail 6. Access by train. Take the Keio line from Shinjuku Station to Takao Singuchi Station. Direct train 50 minutes. From Takao Singuchi Station, you can walk to the trailhead. Access by car. From Hachioji IC on the Chuo Expressway, take Route 20 and head for about an hour to the parking lot near the trailhead. Things to be aware of when visiting 1. Seasonal crowds. Mount Takao is a very popular tourist spot, and it gets crowded with tourists, especially during the autumn foliage season and the spring cherry blossom season. If you visit in the early morning, you will be able to take a leisurely stroll. Choosing a climbing route. There are multiple climbing routes, so it is important to choose a route that suits your physical strength and experience. Trail 1 is suitable for beginners, but the other routes are somewhat steep in places and require proper equipment and preparation. Clothing and equipment. Even though Mt. Takao is at a low altitude, it can get cold depending on the weather. The wind can be cold, especially in winter, so be sure to bring warm clothes. Food and drinks. There are several restaurants and shops on the summit, but they can get crowded on holidays, so we recommend bringing your own drinks and snacks. Nature conservation. Mount Takao places great importance on nature conservation, and visitors are expected to be considerate of the environment, including taking their trash home with them. It is important to observe etiquette while hiking and act in a way that preserves the beautiful natural environment for future generations. Summary: Mount Takao is popular as a place where you can enjoy rich nature and historical temples while being easily accessible from Tokyo. It is a recommended spot for foreign tourists as it offers a wide range of activities, including seasonal scenery, historical sites, mountain climbing and cable cars. Kanazawa Heike and Sankeien. The history of Kanazawa Heike, Kanagawa Prefecture. Kanazawa Heike is located in Kanazawa Ward, Yokohama City, Kanagawa Prefecture, and is a scenic spot. Made famous by the ukiyo-e paintings of Utagawa Hiroshige during the Edo period. Kanazawa Heike is located in Kanazawa Ward, Yokohama City, Kanagawa Prefecture, and is a scenic spot. Made famous by the ukiyo-e paintings of Utagawa Hiroshige during the Edo period. The 8 views were originally named after the 8 views of Shaoxiang in China and Kanazawa. Heike is dotted with beautiful landscapes that resemble these views. Specifically, there are many places that depict natural scenes, such as Hiragata, Rikugen, and Susaki Siren, and they were loved by Edo writers. Rikugen and Susaki Siren, and they were loved by Edo writers. Highlights of Kanazawa Heike. Seaside scenery. Kanazawa Heike is attractive for its beautiful scenery that combines the sea and mountains. In particular, the sea stretches out around Heikejima, making it a popular spot to take a stroll and enjoy the scenery. You can enjoy the scenery of each season, so it has different charms depending on when you visit. Shomaioji Temple is an ancient temple founded in the Kamakura period and is one of the central spots of the Kanazawa Heike. The gardens arranged around a pond are known as beautiful Japanese gardens. The red bridge over the pond is also impressive, and you can enjoy the tranquil atmosphere of the temple. Heikejima Sea Paradise is a representative tourist spot in Kanazawa Heike, and is a theme park with a vast aquarium and amusement park. Located in a location surrounded by the sea, it is a popular facility where you can enjoy both beautiful scenery and marine life at the same time. The history of Sankeien. Sankeien is a traditional Japanese garden located in Nakaku, Yokohama, a short distance from Kanazawa Heike. Sankeien Garden was built in the Meiji period by a businessman named Hara Sankei, and is known for incorporating important cultural properties and historical buildings from all over Japan into a beautiful garden. It was opened to the public in 1906 and has continued to preserve Japanese culture and traditions ever since, remaining highly regarded today as a prime example of a Japanese garden. Highlights of Sankeien Garden. Former Tamyoji Temple 3-story pagoda, a symbol of Sankeien Garden. This pagoda was originally located in Kyoto and was relocated here. It has great historical value and allows you to experience traditional Japanese architecture up close. Tea houses and gardens. There are many tea houses scattered throughout the gardens, where you can enjoy seasonal flowers and trees. The plum and cherry blossoms are beautiful in the spring, and the autumn leaves are beautiful in the fall. You can stroll around the quiet area and feel the nature and history. The seasonal scenery reflected in the pond captivates visitors. How to get to Kanazawa Heike. Train 5 to 10 minute walk from Kanazawa Heike Station on the Kikyu Main Line to the beach and tourist spots. It takes about an hour from Tokyo. By car from Yokohama City. Take Route 16 for about 30 minutes to Sankeien. Train and bus. Take a city bus from JR Negishi Station or Yokohama Station for about 30 minutes and get off at Honmoku Sankeien Mei. By car approximately 20 minutes from Yokohama Station. Parking is available, but it tends to get crowded, especially on weekends. Things to be aware of when visiting crowds. Kanazawa Heike and Sanki-en are particularly popular with tourists during the cherry blossom season in spring and the autumn leaves in fall. So it is recommended to visit early in the morning. Also, it tends to get crowded on weekends and holidays, so it's a good idea to check the crowd situation in advance. Nature Conservation Sankeien Garden takes great care to protect the nature within the garden. You are expected to be mindful of protecting the environment by taking your trash home with you and not touching plants. Kanazawa Heike and Sankeien are beautiful tourist destinations where historical background and nature blend together in harmony, making them great spots to escape the hustle and bustle of the city and enjoy a quiet moment. Both have seasonal scenery that you can enjoy, so you can discover something new every time you visit. Little Edo Kawago. History of Saitama Prefecture. Kawago is a historic castle town in Saitama Prefecture, known as Little Edo, for its streets that retain the atmosphere of the Edo period. During the Edo period, the Kawago domain was established here to protect the north of Edo, and it flourished as a political and commercial base. As a result, the culture and architectural style of that time remain vividly intact. Kawago was also a castle town centered around Kawago Castle, and was a thriving center of logistics and commerce, with deep ties to Edo. Kawago began to be known as Little Edo from the late Edo period through to the Meiji period. In particular, the Kawago domain cooperated with the Kyoho reforms and the merchant culture developed, resulting in the preservation of the warehouse-style streetscape to this day, making it popular with tourists. Attractions. The impressive black storehouse buildings are a symbol of Kawago. Built from the late Edo period through to the Meiji period, these buildings, with their thick walls for fire prevention, were symbols of prosperous commerce. Many of the buildings are still in operation as shops, so you can enjoy the atmosphere of the past while strolling around. Toki no Kane Bell of Time. The symbol of Kawago, Toki no Kane, is a bell tower with a history of about 400 years, and rings 4 times a day. It was first built in the Edo period, but the current structure was rebuilt after a fire. The sound of the bells echoes through the streets of Kawago, creating a historic atmosphere. Kawago Castle. Hanmaru Palace. Kawago Castle was built during the Edo period, and the Hanmaru Palace is a rare surviving building. It was originally used as the residence of the Lord of Kawago and as the political center, and is now open to the public as a historical museum. The interior allows visitors to experience the architecture and lifestyle of the time, making it a must-see for history buffs. Kashiya Yokocho. Kashiya Yokocho, lined with nostalgic sweets, is a famous area that dates back to the Taisho period. In the narrow alleys, handmade sweets and snacks are sold, making it a place that can be enjoyed by both children and adults. One of the attractions is enjoying snacks while enjoying the historic streetscape. Kawago Hakawa Shrine. Known as the Shrine for the God of Matchmaking, Kawago Hakawa Shrine has a history of over 1,500 years. Many visitors come here to pray for success in love and safety in their homes, and the charms and fortune-telling slips related to love are especially popular. Access. Access by train. Access to the tourist area of Kawago on foot from Hun Kawago Station on the Seibu-Shinjuku line. It is also easily accessible from Tokyo, taking about an hour by express train on the Seibu-Shinjuku line from Shinjuku Station. Accessible by foot or bus from Kawago Station on the Tobu-Tojo line and Kawago Station on the Junior Kawago line. Access by car. From Tokyo, you can access the city center in about 15 minutes from Kawago IC on the Kanetsu Expressway. But since the city tends to get crowded on weekends and during peak tourist seasons, we recommend using public transportation. There are paid parking lots in the area, but the ones close to tourist spots tend to be crowded. So it's a good idea to arrive early or use a parking lot a little further away. Bus. There is also a sightseeing bus called Kawago Shuttle Bus that travels around Kawago City, allowing you to travel around the tourist spots efficiently. Things to be aware of when visiting. Crowds. Kawago can get very crowded, especially on weekends, holidays, and during peak tourist seasons. Cherry blossom season and spring and autumn foliage season. We recommend visiting on weekdays or taking a stroll early in the morning. Prepare money. Many local stores and businesses may only accept cash, so it is advisable to bring plenty of cash. Festival season. Kawago holds the Kawago Festival every October, a large-scale festival in which floats parade through the city. This period is very lively, so if you want to enjoy the festival, it is important to make arrangements for accommodation and transportation in advance. Kawago is a place where you can enjoy history and culture while experiencing the atmosphere of the Edo period. It is a recommended spot for foreign tourists as you can have a valuable experience of coming into contact with Japanese History and life while strolling through the traditional townscape. Lake Chuzenji in Nikko, Tochigi. Prefecture history. Lake Chuzenji is a caldera lake formed by volcanic activity about 20,000 years ago. This lake was created when a river was dammed up by the eruption of Mount Nantai in Nikko. It is located at an altitude of 1,269 meters and is known as one of the highest lakes in Japan. The name of Lake Chuzenji comes from the temple Chuzenji that was built on the lakeside. Chuzenji Temple Tachiki Kanon is a temple built by the monk Shado Shonen in 784 and is known as the center of worship of Mt. Nantai. During the Edo period, Tokugawa Ieyasu's vassals and feudal lords visited this place and made it an object of worship. During the Meiji period, foreigners began to use it as a summer resort, and it developed into an international tourist destination. Attractions. Lake Chuzenji Pleasure Boat. A pleasure boat is the best way to enjoy the scenery of Lake Chuzenji. The sightseeing boat travels around the entire lake, allowing you to enjoy the magnificent view of Mt. Nantai and the natural beauty reflected in the lake. The fresh greenery of spring and the colorful leaves of autumn are particularly spectacular. Kegon Falls, a 97-meter waterfall that drops from Lake Chuzenji, it is one of the 3 most famous waterfalls in Japan. You can enjoy a full view of the falls from the observation deck, and you can also take an elevator down to get closer to the falls. You can experience the powerful flow of the waterfall and the power of nature up close. Climbing Mount Nantai. Mount Nantai is a volcano with an elevation of 2,486 meters and is an iconic feature of the Lake Chuzenji area. Mount Nantai is a famous hiking spot, and although the trail is relatively steep, you can see the Nikko Mountains and Lake Chuzenji from the summit. Historically, Mt. Nantai has been revered as a sacred mountain, and the tradition of religious climbing continues. Italian-British Embassy Villa Memorial Park from the Meiji to Showa eras. Foreigners who were fascinated by the natural beauty of Nikko built villas here. The Italian and British Embassy villas on the shores of Lake Chuzenji are now open to the public as a memorial park. With beautiful buildings and views of the lake. Access by train and bus. From Tokyo, you can take the train to Junior Nikko Station or Tobu Nikko Station. If you take the Junior Shinkansen from Tokyo Station, it takes about 50 minutes to Utsunomiya. Then transfer to the Junior Nikko line and arrive at Nikko Station in about 45 minutes. If you use Tobu Railway, it takes about 2 hours from Asakusa Station to Tobu Nikko Station by express train. From Nikko Station or Tobu Nikko Station, take a Tobu bus for about 50 minutes and get off at the Chuzenji Onsen bus stop on the shore of Lake Chuzenji. Access by car. If you are coming from Tokyo by car, take the Tohoku Expressway and exit at Utsunomiya IC, then switch onto the Nikko Utsunomiya Road and exit at Kiyotaki IC. From there it is about 20 minutes to Lake Chuzenji. There are several parking lots around Lake Chuzenji, but they can get very busy, especially during peak tourist seasons, so it's a good idea to leave early or consider using public transport. Things to note when visiting. Be aware of the weather. Lake Chuzenji is at a high altitude, so temperatures are often low. It can get chilly, especially in spring and autumn, so we recommend bringing warm clothes. In addition, please be aware that snow and ice may accumulate during the winter. Crowding. Lake Chuzenji is a popular tourist destination, and is especially crowded with tourists during the autumn foliage season, Golden Week, and summer vacation. It's easier to avoid crowds if you visit early in the morning or on a weekday. Preparation for climbing. If you are planning to climb Mt. Nantai, please prepare proper equipment and physical strength. The trail is steep in places and can be dangerous depending on the weather. Also, since Mt. Nantai is revered as a sacred mountain, it is best to be respectful when visiting. Nature conservation. Lake Chuzenji is surrounded by beautiful nature, so please be mindful of nature conservation when visiting. You are expected to respect the environment by taking your trash home with you and refraining from touching plants and animals. Mount Tsukuba Ibaraki. Prefecture history. Mount Tsukuba is located in Tsukuba City, Ibaraki Prefecture, and is a twin-peak mountain with an elevation of 877 meters. It is divided into Mount Nantai 871 meters above sea level and Mount Nyotai 877 meters above sea level. It has been an object of worship since ancient times and is a mountain with such a deep history that it is even mentioned in the Manyoshu. Mount Tsukuba is counted among the 100 most famous mountains in Japan, and is described in the Kojiki and Nihon Shoki as a sacred mountain where male and female gods reside. In particular, the male deity Izanagi no Mikoto is enshrined on Mt. Nantai, and the female deity Izanami no Makoto is enshrined on Mt. Nyotai. Tsukuba Shrine is the center of this faith and is a historic shrine with a long history. Tsukuba Shrine continues to uphold the faith in the mountain gods, and is especially known for granting blessings in business, love, and household safety. Attractions. Mount Nantai and Mount Nyotai. Mount Tsukuba is a relatively easy mountain for climbers to reach. But it has two peaks, each with a different view. From the top of Mt. Nantai, you can see the Kanto Plain and even Tokyo Skytree in the distance. From the top of Mt. Nyotai, you can sometimes see the Pacific Ocean and Mt. Fuji. Tsukuba Cable Car Ropeway. If you want to reach the summit without climbing, you can take the cable car or ropeway. A cable car will take you halfway up the mountain, and a ropeway connects Mount Nantai and Mount Nyotai, offering spectacular aerial views. The autumn leaves and snow scenery are particularly beautiful in the winter. Tsukuba Sand Shrine. Located at the foot of Mount Tsukuba, Tsukuba Sand Shrine is an ancient shrine with a long history. This shrine, which enshrines the mountain itself as its sacred object, is worshipped for its blessings such as matchmaking and business prosperity. Within the grounds, there are many sacred places, including buildings dedicated to the gods and a place where holy water springs forth. Toadstone Mount Tsukuba is home to many legends and myths, one of which is about a toad. The large rock called Gamaishi is shaped like a frog, as its name suggests, and it is said that walking around the rock will bring you good luck. Scenery that changes with the seasons. Cherry blossoms and azaleas bloom in spring, autumn leaves in autumn, and frost in winter. You can enjoy the natural beauty of Mount Tsukuba in every season. The sight of the entire mountain colored with flowers and autumn leaves is an attraction not to be missed by climbers and tourists. Night view. The night view from Mount Tsukuba is extremely beautiful, as you can see the entire Kanto Plain. From the summit, you can see the city lights of Tokyo and Saitama in the distance. Access by train and bus. To get to Mount Tsukuba from Tokyo, take the Tsukuba Express TX from Akihabara Station to Tsukuba Station, which takes about 45 minutes. From Tsukuba Station, take the shuttle bus bound for Mount Tsukuba and you'll arrive at Mount Tsukuba Shrine and the trailhead in about 40 minutes. Access by car. From Tokyo, take the Joban Expressway and exit at Tsuchiura Kita IC or Sakura Tsuchiura IC. From there, you can access Mount Tsukuba in about 30 minutes. There is a parking lot at the base of the mountain, but it can get crowded during peak tourist season, so we recommend leaving early. Use of cable cars and ropeways. The Tsukuba cable car runs from Miyawaki Station at the base of the mountain to the summit station in about 8 minutes. The ropeway runs from Tsutsujigoka Station to the top of Mount Nyotai and takes about 6 minutes. Things to be aware of when visiting. Weather changes. Mount Tsukuba is at a high altitude, so the weather can change suddenly. Winter is particularly cold, and snow and ice can accumulate, so you will need to take adequate measures to protect yourself from the cold and wear hiking boots. Check the weather forecast in advance and make sure you plan accordingly. Crowding situation. Mount Tsukuba is a popular spot for tourists as well as climbers. It is expected to be particularly busy during the autumn foliage season, Golden Week, and the 3-day autumn weekend. Choosing a climbing route. Mount Tsukuba has climbing courses that can be enjoyed by beginners to advanced climbers, but if you are a beginner, it is best to choose the relatively gentle Hakunbashi course or Mayukagahara course. There are some steep sections, so it is important to choose a route that suits your climbing experience. Nature conservation. Mount Tsukuba is designated as a quasi-national park and nature conservation is required. Please take care of the environment by taking your trash home with you and refraining from picking plants unnecessarily. Summary. Mount Tsukuba is a tourist spot where history and nature come together, and has long been a place of worship. You can climb the mountain or take the cable car or ropeway to enjoy the magnificent view from the summit and the sacred atmosphere of Mount Tsukuba Shrine. The seasonal scenery and night views are also part of the attraction of this place, and new discoveries await you in every season. Orai Isosaki Shrine. History of Ibaraki Prefecture. Orai Isosaki Shrine is located in Orai Town, Ibaraki Prefecture, and is an ancient shrine that is said to have been founded in 856 early Heian period. This shrine enshrines two gods, Unamuchi no Makoto and Sukanahakona no Makoto, as its main deities. These gods are associated with Japan's land development, medical care, prosperity, and bountiful harvests, and are said to bring blessings in agriculture, fishing, and medicine. Regarding the founding of the shrine, there is a legend that when the Ibaraki region was hit by a series of epidemics and disasters, Okunanushi no Makoto and Sukanahakona no Makoto appeared from the sea and saved the people. To commemorate this ritual, local people built a shrine and began to worship him as a guardian deity. Attractions. Shiniso no Torii. The most famous symbol of Orai Isosaki Shrine is the Shiniso no Torii, a torii gate standing on a reef jutting out into the sea. It was built on the seashore, where it is said, the gods descended to earth, and the sight of the sun peeking out from behind the torii gate at sunrise is particularly mystical and overwhelming. This torii gate is popular as a photo spot and power spot, and is visited by many worshippers. Main Hall and Precincts. The main hall of Orai Isosaki Shrine is built in the traditional Japanese architectural style and stands in a tranquil atmosphere. The temple grounds have a solemn atmosphere and are popular as a place to relax. Festivals and events. Orai Isosaki Shrine holds various festivals throughout the year. In particular, the Orai Hisaku Festival is known as a seasonal event at the end of summer. On a Sunday in late August, the shopping district becomes a pedestrian zone, and portable shrines and floats are paraded around. The event is lively with stalls set up by local shops and a parade. Many visitors also come to the shrine for their first visit of the year during the New Year period. Access. Access by train. Approximately 1 hour and 15 minutes from Ueno Station to Mito Station on the Junior Joban Line. From Mito Station, transfer to the Kashima Rinkai Railway Orai Kashima Line and take the train to Orai Station approximately 15 minutes. From Orai Station, it's about a 30-minute walk or a 10-minute taxi ride to the shrine. Access by bus. Take a bus bound for Orai from Mito Station and get off at the Orai Isosaki Jinja-mei bus stop. From there you can walk to the shrine. Access by car. Take the Joban Expressway, enter the Kita-Kanto Expressway at Tomobi Junction, and exit at the Mito Orai IC. From there, head south on National Route 51 and you will arrive at the shrine in about 15 minutes. There is a free parking lot near the shrine, but it is expected to be crowded during the New Year's visit and tourist seasons. So it is a good idea to arrive early. Things to note when visiting: weather. As it is close to the coast, cold and strong winds are expected, especially in winter and on windy days. Take proper precautions against the cold. Also, the area around the Kamiso Shrine Gate facing the sea can have strong waves on some days, so you need to be careful where you step. Please be aware of the condition of the waves and footing, especially when taking photos. Crowds during tourist season. Orai Isosaki Shrine gets very crowded during the New Year's visit and festival seasons. To take photos of the Kamiso Torii, you'll need to arrive early to secure a good spot, as many people gather there, especially at sunrise. Safety on the coast. The location of the Kamiso Torii is built on the rocks of the coast, so the ground can be slippery. Protection of the natural environment. The area around Orai Isosaki Shrine is blessed with a beautiful natural environment. Please be mindful of etiquette when sightseeing, such as taking your trash home with you and avoiding harming the natural environment. Summary. Orai Isosaki Shrine is a mystical place where the sea and the gods coexist in harmony, combining historical significance with natural beauty. In particular, the Kamiso Torii Gate stands tall against the backdrop of the magnificent Pacific Ocean, creating a beautiful contrast with the sunrise and sunset. While it has a deep history as a place of faith, it is also a popular spot for photography and as a power spot, making it a place well worth visiting. Gosho ukaishimashita, korera kanto uchiku no anabasu koto wa, rikishito shizenga ugo ushita kanko uchida, sorezo re aku sesumo yoku. These little known spots in the Kanto region that we have introduced are tourist destinations that combine history and nature. They are all easily accessible, and if you pay attention to the precautions you should take when visiting, you will have a wonderful tourist experience.